My first impressions of her were an individual who had a great sense of enthusiasm, optimism about the future of the Triangle, the value of art and education to enriching people's lives.
As we say in North Carolina, she's good people. She's committed to doing the right things for the right reasons. And what you absolutely know is if Ann says she's going to do something, it's going to happen.
In typical Ann Goodnight fashion, she spends time learning and listening. She's very wise that way. She does not assert her leadership immediately, but she is well informed about the issues. And she certainly has the ability to gather the confidence of the group in her opinions because she is so well informed.
I think for people who know my mother, they know that when she takes on a project, she doesn't do it without a great deal of thought and study. And I think when she was developing this idea for Carey Academy, she looked at what was really necessary to create the kind of environment that she wanted these kids to have, and what was the best way for any child to learn.
To this day, I'd say is certainly one of the most important commissions I've had, and it was actually a really unique opportunity to work from the very beginning of a project, because when they hired me, they had not developed their curriculum, they had not hired a head of school, there was no staff whatsoever. So I think it really speaks to Ann's trust in the design profession and to architecture that she started with an architect to say, we want to build a school, and involved the architect and the design team in the very foundations of the school's mission and curriculum and then the design.
I do believe she does understand that the quality of materials and the quality of space affects the well-being of people, that in fact good design has a positive effect on how people work and live and think.
Ann really understands that it is through design that one can create an environment of excellence, and that's really what Carey Academy and even SAS are about.
What you need to know about Ann is that those things that she commits to are generally things that affect each and every person in the community. Her decisions are color blind, they're class blind, they're socially blind, and that the things that she works on are good for everyone, whether they think about it immediately or not.
I think she sees that we can have the best cultural institutions, we can have the best public education systems, we can have the best universities, we can have the best economic climate of any state in the country. And I think that's being borne out. In fact, we are becoming blessed with just those qualities because she's advocated, and others too, of course, but she and Jim have been such leaders in advocating for these values.
I think she really understands that to have a great community, a great urban life, a great place to live, that it takes this foundation of arts and education. And that's the evidence of Carey Academy, that it's truly looking at fundamentally how can a school create really well-rounded kids with a great education. And she understands that the arts are part of a great education.
Ann's one of those folks that the longer you know her, the more you love her. Her first impression is always a positive one, but if you like her on day one, you're really going to love her on day two.
When I first moved here, I was told by Governor Hunt that the state motto was to be rather than to seem. I think she reflects that very well. She is a genuine personality. When she's out speaking in the public about education, it's because she is passionate about it, not because it somehow advances her position, but because she cares about it.
I think people might be surprised really how much time she spends on working in the community. She loves it. She loves that interacting with other people, and she loves working hard and learning. She's certainly a lifelong learner and has never shied away from a project because she didn't know at the beginning of the project how everything was going to work.
Well, the Design Guild Award was established now a little more than 10 years ago. It was an idea that came about as we were approaching our 50th anniversary of the founding of the School of Design before we transformed into the College of Design. The idea was that we would reach out to those individuals who have benefited the community through design, through the arts, either by doing the work themselves as artists or by nurturing the work to be done by others. Ann fits that description perfectly. She has really established the presence of the arts. She's demonstrated the value of the arts from the identification of individual artists and the collection of artwork to the sponsoring of work at the North Carolina Art Museum to helping students with sponsorship of student projects in the College of Design. So she has really, I believe, demonstrated exactly the type of citizen participation in the design and arts communities that we were looking to reward as part of the Design Guild Award.